We've learned, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And today, flip over to chapter 5. We're having a look at Give us this day our daily bread. Welcome back. I'm Pastor Dirk Willner and we're doing confirmation using the Lord's Prayer Journal. And how are you going so far? Daily bread. That's an interesting thing. Every day you want to have something to eat, isn't it? I mean, otherwise we'd go hungry. So give us every day the things that we need. What's needful in your day? It's not just about what you're going to snack on or, just breakfast, lunch, dinner. Give us today what we need to eat. When you think about give us this day our daily bread, it's all the things that we need, our life, the big picture. One of the important things that as you read through this, you can read a little bit of the story, and then down the bottom here, you can see the discussion on the fourth petition. But their point here is that it connects us back to the manna in the olden days, in the time of the Exodus from Egypt, during the wilderness experience. Now that time when they were saying, give us this day our daily bread, and they were calling out to God, feed us because we are hungry. And then God gave them manna from heaven. And manna, if you have a read of it, just simply means, what's this? So suddenly they saw all of this stuff happening every morning that they picked up and they turned into something they could eat. That was their daily bread. And Jesus, actually then when he was sharing himself, well, who are you? He said, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me will not be hungry. There's something very important here. He who drinks from me will not be thirsty. God providing through Christ everything that we need. And that's actually a very important connection then. Because when you think about it, what is it that you need? What do you need rather than what do you want? Because when you think about there's a difference between need and want. And when we're talking about give us this day our daily bread, we're asking God, provide for me today what I need to live. So it's actually about my life. And have you noticed that if you read about the manna, and you can do that as you read through this book here, that it only stayed for the day. You couldn't accumulate it for tomorrow, because tomorrow God would provide yet again. That means that God is actually providing for right now. I think that's why we call it the present. Have you ever thought about it? You have the past, you have the future, and then we have our present. And God in the present is giving us the present as in, a gift of life and everything that was needed to have the enjoyment of this life, the fulfillment of this life. There's a favorite verse of mine from John 10:10, where it says that Jesus is pointing out all these other things that are taken away from us, but he says, but I've come to give you life and life in all its fullness. This life is connected with Christ, the fullness of life. Have a read. So as you do, go over. This is now the important one that we're looking at. What does that mean? That's our confirmation question. I want you to ask those questions. I want you to explore faith. What does that mean? So we're talking about prayer, but have you ever thought about, well, what does that mean? Have you noticed that prayer is a conversation? So when we're talking about prayer, it's actually a conversation that we're having with God. As we have conversations with one another, you with your mum and dad sitting around the kitchen table can have a conversation now about these points here. Have a look at the questions down below. How would you explain the difference between a need and a want? Remember I just talked about that? Talk about that a little bit more. What are 3 things that worry people at your age most? What worries you today? About our worry. Can God meet my needs? We're worried about so many things. But God is basically saying, look, worry about what's right now. Don't worry about what's in the future, because God is dealing with things right now. So as you're experiencing your life, why not sit around the table now? As you've looked through all of this, explore it, talk about it, and remember to do the Faith 5. Remember what those are as we share, all the way to the time when we bless. So bless one another this time around, putting the sign of the cross on your forehead or saying something special about how you want to bless each other, because Give us this day our daily bread. What we need is also what we can give. There's something very important about this in the side issue here from Mother Teresa. I'll leave you with this. When a poor person dies of hunger, it has not happened because God did not take care of him or her. It happened because neither you nor I wanted to give that person what they needed. Isn't that interesting that God is saying to us, you too could be the answer to someone else's need. Just as we are praying, give us this day our daily bread, what about the people around you? Are you part of maybe answering someone else's prayer about what they need? Think about it. See you next time.